In today's video, I will answer some of the most asked questions about cruises and travel I receive here on the channel and on my social media. And also, I will share with you what I'm planning for our channel in 2023, including the details of some fantastic adventures on board cruise ships and visiting cities around the world. Curious? If so, stay tuned until the end of this video to know all the details of what's coming and how your participation will be essential. But now, it's time to answer some questions and share some exciting news. Let's go! Hello cruise mates, I'm Horton Novak. Welcome to Cruising the World. In this channel, we talk about everything related to cruises and trips around the world. If you enjoy cruise ships and travel, you are in the right place. Before answering your most burning questions about cruise and travel, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your messages, prayers, and support of the past few months. I am recovering very well from my surgery, and I'm sure that your positive vibes have helped a lot in getting here. And for that very reason, today I want to share great news firsthand with you. I just received results of my last tests, and they confirmed that the operation was a success. I will have to do some annual tests for prevention, but I'm happy to announce that the cancer has been removed completely without major issues. And this news couldn't arrive at a better time, because I'm full of plans for the channel and I can't wait to bring you new videos about cruises and trips. In fact, the soaking time helped me reevaluate various aspects of my life, especially regarding the channel, and I have concluded that some changes are needed. But I will discuss that with you at the end of this video. Because now it's time to answer some of the questions I get the most here on the channel and on my social media. Some of these questions are more on the broad side, while others are a bit more personal, tapping on my favorite things about cruise ships and travel. So, in addition to clarifying some of your doubts, you will also learn a little bit more about me. But let's get to the questions. What is included in the cruise fare? This is one of the most frequently asked questions I get here on the channel, and this is my shortest answer. With most cruise companies, your fare includes your cabin, meals, and ports and embarkation taxes. A passenger can without a doubt travel on a cruise ship without spending anything extra. However, this is sometimes a bit difficult, or almost impossible, thanks to a huge variety of additional options offered on board, which might include not only packages of alcoholic beverage or soft drinks, specialty restaurants, duty-free shops, and many others. This question is so frequent that I even created this video up here talking details about it. I will also leave the link in the description of this video if you want to watch after finish this one. What language is spoken on board? Well, it depends a lot of the cruise company you are traveling with. In general, the most common language on board is English, but it depends a lot on the company and from where the ship is sailing. If you're traveling with Costa or MSC, for example, the official language on board is Italian, but English is also used. If you travel with Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, Disney Cruises, NCL, Carnival, and other American or English-based companies, the official language on board is English. Spanish or Portuguese may also be present on cruises sailing the Mediterranean or even in Brazil and South America. If your language is not the primary language on board, often the crew can help translate or explain questions that may arise during your cruise. Can I get seasick on board? People always ask me this question. The answer is yes, it can happen, especially if you have a disposition to motion sickness. Even though seasickness is much less frequent than most people think. It is very common, especially for first-time sailors, to fear embarking and getting seasick on board. However, in most cases, the body gets used to the movement, and the feeling of nausea doesn't take long to pass. Getting nauseous is much more common when the ship encounters rougher seas or strong winds, which makes the embarkation sway more than usual. Most of the time, the captain will avoid sailing through rougher seas or storms. But even when this is not possible, the ship has stabilizers that helps to avoid or at least minimize the vessel's swing for the passenger's comfort. But if you're still worried, you can try the bracelets against motion sickness found in pharmacies. Ginger candies are also super effective. Or you can even take medications against motion sickness before boarding and during the first days of your trip, just for precaution. If you get nauseous when you're on board, slowly eating a green apple can also help reduce nausea. However, in more severe cases, it may be a good idea to visit the medical center on board. What's the best cabin location on a ship? This is another very common question, and it depends on several factors, ranging from how much you want to spend, preference for cabin type, location near pools, restaurants, or yet areas less likely to feel the swing of the ship. If you tend to get nauseous, choose cabins more in the center of the ship or lower decks. You'll feel much less the swing of the embarkation in this area. This topic is very comprehensive, and I have a whole video on how to choose the best cabin location on a cruise ship here on the channel. I will leave the link in the description if you want to know more about it after watching this video. Can I travel by ship if I am pregnant? Pregnant women who won't reach the 23rd week of pregnancy before the end of the cruise can travel. Just keep in mind, this is a general rule, and the number of weeks required can vary from one company to another. Before booking your trip, checking your requirements with the company or travel agent is a good idea. A medical certificate stating that the passenger is fit to travel is also required. The cruise line disclaims any liability if the passenger is unable to travel or must interrupt the trip. The passenger is not entitled to any compensation or refund of the fares. Before booking your cruise, be sure to check the company's rules. Medical assistance on board, including passenger extraction and hospitals, especially overseas, can cost big bucks. I highly recommend travel insurance with a good coverage in case of cancellation of your trip or need for medical attention. What's your favorite cruise line? By now, you might have noticed on my videos, but my go-to cruise line is Royal Caribbean. I don't know if it's because Royal was the first company I cruised with, but in general, I love their ships. Everything on board is modern and innovative. The attractions and food are exquisite, and the crew is just amazing. I've been on 14 voyages on board many of the company's ship's classes, and I have never been disappointed. This year, I'm going to try another company for the first time. I want to check how it compares to Royal Caribbean and, of course, bring all the details for you here on the channel. I will tell more about that at the end of this video. Which was the first cruise ship you boarded? My first cruise ever was on board the Voyage of the Seas, leaving Sydney to Fiji back in 2013. And I don't need to say it was love at first sight, right? What's your favorite thing about traveling on cruise ships? This question is so hard. There is so much I like about cruising. But if I had to pick one, it would be the opportunity to visit many ports and cities around the world while traveling in the comfort of a hotel. Traveling on a cruise ship, I don't have to worry about details as I would on a conventional trip. Because in addition to accommodation, the ship offers entertainment, shops, service, and a huge selection of dining options included in your rate. If you do the math, traveling on a ship is cheaper than traveling by land. And another great advantage is that you only have to unpack your bags once during the trip. What's Crown and Anchor Society and which is your status? Crown and Anchor Society is Royal Caribbean's reward program. It offers its members many perks such as discounts and onboard benefits, and works much like as a frequent flyer program. The big difference is that your points never expire, and the more you sail with the company, the higher the status and benefits offered by the program will be. I have reached the 4th level of the program, so as now I am a Diamond member. However, I'm super excited because after my next trip, I will become Diamond Plus. I will tell more about this exciting adventure in a few minutes. Being at a high level of Crown and Anchor Society is not only about status or bragging rights on board. It actually brings several advantages and perks to the passenger, including priority to board, member-only spaces on some ships, exclusive parks on board, discounts booking cabins, and even free drinks. I'm preparing a video about the Crown and Anchor Society for the channel, where I will explain all the program's perks in detail, including the levels and benefits of each tier. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when this video and many others arrive on the channel. What do you think is better, the larger or the smaller cruise ships, and why? That one is tricky, because I enjoy traveling on ships of all sizes. However, I can say there are advantages and disadvantages to traveling on both the larger or the smaller cruise ships. In my opinion, one of the great advantages of smaller ships is that they can visit ports and cities where one of the largest ships in the world could not even sail due to their size. For this reason, you will find the largest cruise ships in the world sailing from the largest ports in the United States and Europe only. On the other hand, smaller ships are much more versatile. They can sail through many regions of the planet and even visit ports in more secluded and hard to access places, such as the city of Kotor in Montenegro or even Venice in Italy, which banned the large cruise ships from its ports altogether. Also, many times, picking a larger or a smaller vessel can often be a more personal choice. For example, some people prefer smaller cruise ships because they offer a more welcome and cozy atmosphere. Passengers have more chances to meet and interact with other people on board. Others prefer the largest ships because they are like floating cities and offer more options for restaurants, shopping, shows, and other onboard attractions. These were some of the questions I got the most on the channel. If you have other questions I didn't answer in this video, leave a message in the comment section below or send a message on my social media. By the way, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. On my social media, you always know where I am and what I'm working on for the YouTube channel firsthand. There, I always post photos and videos of what's going on in my travels and answer messages in real time, when internet connections permit. And now, as I promised, I would like to share my plans for the channel with you. As I commented at the beginning of this video, going through serious health issues opens up your prospects. That's why I realize it's time to focus my energy on things that I enjoy and make me feel fulfilled. Traveling through this beautiful world and having the chance to share these experiences and be part of the trajectory of each of you through my videos and interactions here on the channel and on social media do make me feel very happy and fulfilled. So far, consistently creating content for the channel has been a bit tricky. Working full-time during the day and making videos for the channel late at night has been draining my energy and limiting a lot my creative process. So I think it's time to dedicate more time to the channel, to be able to create more and better videos regularly, and to have more time to stay in touch with you here on YouTube and on my social media. That's why I resigned from the company where I work as a graphic designer. And now I will try to go full-time on YouTube. I will not deny, this is quite a scary step, to leave the safety of a 9-to-5 job to embark in this adventure on YouTube. But I will not be able to make this radical change alone. And here is where I count on your help on this new adventure. Be sure to subscribe, press the bell, leave comments and questions, and share the channel and our videos with your family, friends, and everyone who likes cruise and travel. And who doesn't like to travel, right? Every subscriber, like, and comment inspires and encourages me to create more and better videos every week. It also helps YouTube algorithm to show our videos more often on the platform, which also helps the channel to be seen and grow. I will be forever grateful to you, my cruise mates, for being by my side on this journey. This will be a year of firsts for us here in the channel. To begin with, this year I will board 5 different ship categories for the first time and visit several countries and cities, including some that have been on my bucket list for years. My first adventure of the year will start soon, at the end of April. I'm already packing my bags to visit Vancouver, Canada for the first time, from where I'm going to board one of the most traditional ships in Royal Caribbean's fleet, the Brilliance of the Seas, for a 7-day trip through Alaska. The Brilliance of the Seas has a special place in my heart, because it was in this ship that I took my first Mediterranean cruise in 2017. I can't wait to board the ship again, this time to visit Alaska for the first time. But I'm not going to stop there. Right after this cruise and back to Vancouver, I will be boarding the next day a much larger and technological ship, the Quantum of the Seas, for back-to-back trips through Alaska. This time visiting some different ports on our itinerary and ending in Seattle in the United States, where I'll spend a few days exploring the city to bring all the details to you here on the channel. This will also be my first time on board the Quantum of the Seas and visiting Seattle. As you might be guessing, I can't wait to get on board. This will be an unforgettable trip, full of first times and a unique opportunity to explore and compare these two very different classes of Royal Caribbean ships. Not only to bring you firsthand all the details of each vessel, but also tips on what to see and do in all the cities and ports we'll be visiting in Canada, Alaska and the United States. I will be creating a series of videos about the trip here on YouTube. Still, as you might imagine, making the videos can take a bit, with the whole production and editing process. So, if you want to be the first to know what is happening and what is coming to the channel firsthand, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and Instagram. On these platforms, I'll be posting photos and answering your messages in real time. I might be doing some live sessions, depending on the internet connection in port or on the ship. And just to let you know, this trip through Alaska is just the beginning of what I have planned for this year. I won't tell you all the details right now, as I don't want to spoil the surprise. But let me give you some clues about what's coming this year. By the end of this year, I should have visited more than 14 countries and explored more than 20 different cities. Most of these places for the first time ever. Without counting the Alaska cruises, I will still be boarding 4 other ships. One of them will be the latest ship of a company that is changing the cruise industry, despite being one of the newest additions to the market. Do you know what cruise or company I'm talking about? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you don't, keep an eye on the channel. I will be revealing more details in the coming weeks. I really can't wait to share with you, my cruise mates, all these incredible cruise adventures in fantastic cities around the world. See you in the next video.